I call this meeting to order on this Tuesday, September the 23rd, 2025 at 5 p.m. in the Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District number 35 Governing Boardroom, District Office 570 Camino Lito Galindo, Rio Rico, Arizona. Can we please stand for the pledge? And Mr. Armijo, will you lead us with the pledge?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I know that's what he does all the time. Okay, roll call. Mr. Beach? He's absent. Mr. Rene Ramirez?
Here.
Mr. Ben Guerrero?
Here.
Ms. Alma de la Riva?
Here.
And me, we have a quorum. Thank you much. Adoption of the agenda, Mr. Lugo?
No recommended changes, thank you.
No recommended changes and. Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll move.
Okay, is there any further discussion? With anybody? No, seeing none, all of you say aye. All those in favor say aye. Hey, all those opposed say nay. Okay, ayes have it, motion passes. Okay, moving on, call to the public. Okay, none. Miss Superintendent's report, Mr. Verdugo.
Thank you. Like, congratulating our newly formed flag football teams for starting out their season 2-0, which is awesome. I want to congratulate Coach Duran and all the athletes that are doing that and making history. I know they have some tough games coming up, but it's great to start 2-0. So congratulate them. Congratulate the cross country team who was very successful in their last few meets, especially going to California as a Woodbridge Invitational. We had a lot of medalists, both boys and girls side. So I want to congratulate them for all of their efforts and continue their success pursuing another state championship, hopefully down the road for the boy team. I know they have a really good opportunity. Want to thank Meg and the TLA for the scheduling our first quarter reviews, which are coming up. So we have meetings with site principal and staff reviewing our IEPs. Wanted to let the board know it's not on our agenda tonight, but we usually have our data presentations and we're going to push those into November because we want to wait till the letter grades come out so that we can really discuss the letter grades. But I wanted you to know that the sites are still pursuing improvement. And so our first step that we normally do is our first quarter review, working with principals and teachers to check in and see how they're doing. And also you received the schedule for the site visits with the board for students and staff, some of that in October. That's it. Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you very much. Moving on, we have our governing board report, Ms. De La Riva.
Yes, I was able to attend the Rio Rico High School volleyball game against Aguado last week. Congratulations to Coach Bermudez and the whole team for their win. It was a very, very exciting game to watch. So congratulations to them. And yes, I agree with Mr. Verdugo. Congratulations to the girls, the flag football team and the cross country team. And also, thank you to the Elgin School District for hosting the ASBA County meeting last night. And congratulations to our board president, Ms. Vasquez, and Mr. Ben Guerrero for the recognition by ASBA last night. That was nice to see. So a big congratulations to you. Thank you to Mr. Jimmy Navarro for driving Ms. Vasquez and I to the meeting. It was a pleasant drive. We conversed and it just made the drive so much more pleasant. So that's it for me.
All righty, thank you very much. Mr. Guerrero.
Yeah, nothing to report. Thank you. Thank you for that. It was, went to the ASBA meeting yesterday. I was totally not expecting to go up there at all. It caught me by surprise. I'm like, I'm supposed to go up there. I'm not sure for what, but it was pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Ramirez.
Yes, I just want to wish the football team good luck at homecoming this coming Friday, and look forward to being there. And I just want to wish all administrators, staff, and everyone, your administration, luck in finishing off the first 9 weeks. It's always tough to, people start getting burned out at around that time, so I just want to wish everybody well in finishing the 9 weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, everything that they said, okay, because that's one of the things that I was good. Congratulations to all of our teams, especially, cross country. They did a really, really good up in California, and my grandson got a medal, lindo. Anyway, and and I know that there were there was a lot of kids that like beat their best, right, Mr. Yeah, like 7 or 8 kids, that beat their own best. So that tells you a lot, that tells you all the improvements that are happening with them. So good luck to you. I wanted to also congratulate the CTE program, okay, the law and public safety. Okay, they were using the 9/11 simulators, whatever, okay, which is designed, okay, to teach the students proper communication skills, which is essential for emergency response. And our students are gaining valuable practice, in applying their communication skills and protocols and procedures, like in simulating like real life situations. And by learning all of this, okay, they are able to implement all of this and learning the 911, communications, and that is going to help them, to succeed, in that field, when the time comes. So I think that was like really, really cool. I also read that the aquatic center wants to reopen. There's a lot of people that are asking, right, Mr. Verdugo? Okay, and I also talked to Audra about that, and she says that they sent out a survey. Am I right? Okay, so if all of you guys want the aquatic, okay, and want to do swimming, okay, fill that out, okay? The girls' football, again, also very, 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 very exciting, that they're starting on the right path. Principals reports. I love the principal reports, guys. Oh my God. Okay, I really like what, I think it was Mountain View. You guys did letters to our first responders, and you guys made books and stuff and handed them to all of our first responders. I think that is really good. Okay, this is the generation where our kids don't know what happened, in 9/11. Okay, and we need to not forget. So, congratulations. I also saw Mr. Calabasas. They did something the same. The student of the month. I love the pictures. Okay, at San Cayetano, the little ones. I want to take them home. But anyway, everybody's doing a really, really good job. Thank you, Coatimundi and Rio Rico High School. All of you guys are doing a fantastic job, letting the public know, because that's where we can go in and see what's happening in our schools, okay? People ask me, and I said, go into the website. Everything is there. You guys have, pictures and all this, and you can tell what's going on. Visit your schools, So thank you very much for all of that, and I'm done. Okay, thank you. Moving on, we've got the fiscal year 25 annual financial report. Mr. Verdugo?
Thank you. It is at that time of year where we present the AFR, which is the annual financial report for the previous fiscal year, 24-25, and finalize that.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Verdugo. Good evening, Madam President and members of the board. As Mr. Verdugo mentioned, it is now time to come with the final report that summarizes our financial activity for last fiscal year. When we go and the fiscal year ends on June 30th, then we have between July 1 and August 31st to actually finish any pending transaction for the final year. So once that's over, then we jump right into putting together the annual financial report. And that's the report that you have in front of you tonight. Highlights of the report, we will be going over our major funds, or M&O and capital. We will also review expenditures in the classroom site fund. And then we'll take a look at our bonds and override, and take a look at grants and food service at the end. Alrighty, so we'll start with our operating fund, or M&O. In our M&O, or revenues, I skipped over one, I'm sorry. Here it is. So revenues for our major funds. In the M&O, we came in at $30 million. And in our capital fund, also known as District Additional Assistance, a little bit over $1 million. Total combined revenue represents a 1% drop from the prior year. So I would say pretty stable. So you would say, why a drop? We lost 33 students compared to the prior year. So that explains the decrease there. I'm gonna move away from revenues, and now we're going to take a look at the expenditures in our operating fund. We had a total expenditures of $27.5 million. That represents a 10% increase over the prior year. And you can see in the areas that we spent our funds. At the top, we have with 45% being dedicated to general instruction and instructional support, with a total of $12.4 million. Then you can find maintenance and security services with 17% went towards that area at $4.6 million. Then you can see that followed by a 15% with special ed and CTE. And then we find 12% in administration, and that is a combined administration, school administration, and central administration. Then followed by a 7% in transportation services. And then we have 3% athletics and band. And then we have at the end, food service and bookstore. And in food service, the only reason why we have them in the M&O is because we have a requirement. The food service operation is 99.9% funded with the federal funds. But we do have a requirement to spend a certain amount of dollars, which is what I have indicated there, towards the program. Another way to look at expenditures is on the, not so much on the area, but the type of expenditures. In the M&O expenditures, we have 75% was dedicated to salaries and benefits, and then 19% went towards purchase services. And although I guess I must explain that in the area of purchase services, that blue section in the graph, there's also staff in there. We have purchase services that are very expensive. That are dedicated to our area of student services. And we just can't find them to bring them on board through payroll. So instead of bringing them on board through payroll, we actually issue purchase orders to them. But that's in essence, in reality, they make part of the salaries and benefits. It's we hire them through a PO instead of payroll. Okay. So in the purchase service categories, you'll find that as well as some travel and maintenance agreements for some of our equipment. Then we have 6% dedicated to supplies. And then on the other, which it says 0%, but it's actually, you'll find their dues and fees and some student travel. Moving on away from the operating fund into our capital fund. In our capital fund, total expenditures came in at $2.3 million. That represents a 43% increase from the prior year. And then we find instruction, once again at the top, with 41% dedicated to the area of instruction, followed with a 24% dedicated to facilities. And then 18% dedicated to transportation. As part of that number, we did 2 vehicle purchases. We replaced one of the yellow buses and one of our white buses. And that is part of the rotation schedule that I know that we shared with you in the previous board meeting. Then we have athletics and band. And then at the end, you see administration. So those were the areas. Now let's look at the type of expenditures. You can see that 28% was dedicated to curriculum materials. And then we have 11% dedicated to software subscription. A lot of those software subscriptions are actually dedicated to curriculum. We have a lot of tools that we bring to our classrooms now in the form of softwares. And then we have vehicles, 19%, construction, 17%, and then furniture, equipment, and technology at 25%. We're gonna move away from our main funds, and now we're gonna take a look at the classroom site fund. Total expenditures for this program came in at 3.7%. That represents a 12% increase from the prior year. So now let's take a look at the base pay. The base pay for those employees that participated in this program last year was $12,215.50. And then those that accomplished their performance, then they got on top of that $3,917.36. And then we have a section dedicated to district initiatives. Total expenditures in that area came in at $468,839. I mentioned some of the highlights in that area of the program, but I want to communicate to the board that all of the expenditures were aligned to the plan that the board approved. And we do have 2 class size reduction positions that are linked and funded out of the classroom site.
Just real quick with that, just so the board knows that that is additional pay for teachers. So that's $16,000 additional on top of their base salary as well as other benefits. So it's something that we're very proud that we make sure that we compensate teachers as much as possible through the Classrooms Fight Fund or 301.
That's the through one. That's what I was gonna
Yeah,
ask.
that's what people know it as. Something at $16,000, very significant for our staff, our teachers.
So the 12,215 goes into the base pay, or do they get it, like as a lump sum, or
That runs parallel to their contract.
so they do get it with
Every single pay.
every single paycheck. Okay. Just wanted-
And just so the board is aware, I know that with our new members, historically, it was kind of flipped where performance pay was actually more,
Mhm.
where teachers had to do other.
Mhm.
And through the process, working with our real committee, teachers have been asking, can we just have it as part of our basic? So the performance part of it is they don't have to actually take an additional class if they don't want to. Now it's pretty much in their base pay, which is what they've been asking for many years. And I know Ms. Vasquez knows that
Oh, yeah.
as a teacher. Mr. Ramirez knows that as well, that teachers have always been, don't want to jump through hoops or whatever. But really, it's not hoops, it's just additional requirements to add pay to their salary. But now it's more in the base pay.
Performance it's a required component on the Prop 301 statute. So what was removed used to be that the state would dictate how much money goes into the base,
Mhm.
and then how much money was in performance, and then how much money was for the rest of the initiatives. And the split went something like 20-20.
Yeah. Mhm.
So now they went ahead and removed that, and that's why and when the district was able to redirect how much money went towards the base pay. But the performance component, it is a requirement. We must have something that has to do with performance.
And that's the one that gets split up in, like, you get one in December and one in March or something like that? Is that the one?
Performance gets paid at the end of the year.
At the end of the year. Okay, all right, okay. All right, thank you.
Alrighty. We're approaching the end of our bond proceeds. And last year, total expenditures was $843,604. Currently, we have a balance of $534,161. I know that Dr. Lunderbill is working on a scope of work to see if we need more surveillance cameras and what is it that we need so we can deplete the funding. Okay. They have to go, as a reminder, they have to go to the same bond categories that went into the voter information path. On the other hand, we have our 9% override, which generated $2.3 million for the district, and that increases our operating fund by that amount. And you can see that we are benefiting from fully funding their kinder teachers. We have funding dedicated for elementary and middle school band teachers, the K-8 media center technicians, 1 media center specialist, 6 art teachers, 1 dance teacher, 1.4 CTE teachers, 1 alternative pathways teachers, 1 network administrator, 1 community outreach and community communications coordinator, 27 longevity stipends, only for teachers. and then support for athletics, and obviously our new aquatic center. Um, Sorry, skip one, I think.
Skip one.
Yeah, I did. Okay. All right, federal grants. Federal grants, total revenue came in at $3.3 million. Federal expenditures, 3.2. Within those figures, you'll find the COVID-19 relief funds. And we received a total revenue of 97,815 because they were including in that was prior year reimbursement. There's always a time lag in reimbursements with grants. And then total expenditures, and those were the final expenditures at this point. We do not have any dollars left from any of the ESSER's COVID related funding. We are done. And the expenditures was 50,460. So I mentioned as I was going through the M&O and the capital fund that both funds increased in expenditures. One of the reasons that we see an increase in both of the funds, it's not only like we did a 5% increase in salaries and absorbing the benefits and all the stuff that we're doing for the staff, but also we had transferred some of the positions from M&O into the COVID funds, remember. So we took advantage of those funds. So now that we are done with those funds, now we brought them back to M&O.
So they're reimbursed, but they go back into M&O, so essentially we do have this money though, this 97,000.
No, we don't.
We're expending it, so it was just, we were able to keep M&O funds. And so then what we
We
did,
put out our M&O funds until they gave us back the ESSER, this money from.
So while we were spending ESSER dollars, Mr. Ramirez, we identified some of the positions, and some positions we transferred that were normally paid out of M&O. We went ahead and we transferred them to this one-time funding. But we kept those funds in our operating fund, knowing that eventually we're going to transfer them.
so we can make that, our M&O funds last longer. And so it's more of just a savings account.
And another thing that you did was that you did not have to fire or, the people that you hired, okay? We kind of kept them on, am I right?
With the exception of some of the positions we did, Ms. Vasquez, we did introduce some temporary initiatives or things that were not meant to be for the long term.
Yes.
But those positions that are key to the operation, like for instance, I'm gonna just take a counselor. We transfer a counselor from our M&O to our ESSER, right? And we save that M&O.
Yes.
We saved it.
Mhm.
We made sure that we did not spend it on some other initiative. Why? Because we knew at some point we were going to bring that counselor back.
Exactly. Okay, that's kind
Just a question about that. When they did give us ESSER funds, we used all of them, right? In other words, so we found a clever way to do this and.
Mhm.
Correct.
Yes, and I would say that we were very strategic with it. So the positions that we did add were like, okay, we want to try this, and we never had the funds to do it. And then if we found that it worked, then we were going to then find the M&O fund to maintain
To
it.
maintain.
Or it was a nice to try, but it didn't meet the needs that we wanted, so we pulled it back. The issue that many districts ran into is putting this and believing that it was going to continue and be an endless flow.
They didn't use
And
it, so they lost it. And they had to-
Yeah,
They lost it, or they overexpended,
Uh-huh.
and now they have to pull back and they had to cut hundreds positions because they added positions that were not there before.
Mhm.
And so it was, again, we wanted to make sure we were very conservative and strategic like we always are with our funds, use them in the right way, such as buying the food truck, things that we knew were going to be something that we want for the long term. And the issue is that other, again, districts made some poor decisions, and not to disparage them, but they overexpended thinking this money was going to continue to be there. Now they don't have the funding, and either they're going into debt or they're trying to pull back and have to release a lot of staff. And so we didn't want to do any of that. So we were very strategic with it.
We really wanted to make sure that not all the funding went towards positions. So we were able to accelerate the rotation schedule of technology for our district. So we looked at other areas, not just at FTEs, not just of positions, because we love that. School districts, everybody wants them.
Surprised it's such a late date, you know, after COVID. I mean, it's been 5 years, and we're getting this money back.
So we're done, Mr. Dominguez. Fiscal 25 was the last fiscal year that we had funds to spend. And we did, we spent them all. And we no longer have any funds left out of
And we tell them we still got some people are sick.
People are still getting.
I'd rather not have that kind of.
Yes, definitely. I'll get you. Yeah.
Righty. On the other hand, state grants, we had a beginning fund balance of 900,000, a little bit over 900,000. Revenues came in at 474,000 and expenditures were at $1.3 million. School facility board, or ongoing battle with the school facilities board. So on the left-hand side of the screen, we have the expansion of Rio Rico High School. The total award for that expansion out of the SFB came in at $10.8 million. Last fiscal year, we spent the final dollars out of that award, $1.3 million. That introduced close to 27,000 square footage for Rio Rico High School, which gives us the capacity for 200 more students.
That's amazing.
On the other hand, the building renewal grants, we were able to capture $1.2 million. And as a result, we were able to renovate the boys' lockers rooms at Rio Rico High School, as well as a replacement of an HVAC for Cuatimundi's NPR. We're currently working on replacing the main breaker for Rio Rico High School. That project started last year and
Continuing.
is with us this year. We're hoping that will be done here in the fall. And then, I don't know what to tell you about Calabasas. I've been fighting with this one for the last 2 going on 3 years. I am not going to drop it. We will continue to work with them. We're supposed to get an award letter in October. We'll see.
Mhm.
And just so the board is aware, it's been approved
It's been approved.
but we keep getting it pushed to say it's not a priority.
Oh.
And so, because there is only a finite amount of funds that the state gives for additional assistance or for school facilities board annually, and so they prioritize, and for whatever reason, Calabasas starts up here and then gets to the bottom, pushed down for the last 3 years, even though, again, the project has been approved. And actually, it's just 3 years that it's been approved, and we were working on it probably 5 years prior to that.
Before that.
So it's probably been an 8-year project that we've been working to try to get this done with the school facilities board.
What you're mentioning at ASBA.
Yeah.
Gentleman was talking about that.
Yeah, and so it's unfortunate, but Ms. Brown has done a great job of keeping it on the radar for them.
And it's still alive. It's still there.
It's on their agenda. The last I heard is that to expect an award letter for October, but I really don't want to get my hopes because
How much was it worth?
over $2 million.
$1 million. Yeah.
$1 million for
There's a lot of those.
and the weatherization.
Yeah.
With Calabasas is that it's just not the weatherization. If we do not address the problem that we have with drainage,
Mhm.
Yep.
it's just not a true solution for the school.
And just so, and also for the board's history, we've already spent a few $1 million trying to correct this issue from a previous bond,
Yes.
and we corrected some of it. But it's still Calabasas, the civil engineering that has happened there has been very poor from when it was built. And so it still floods, and that's, and there's, so now we're hoping that with this project that they'll correct that before they do the weatherization, and so that the whole project is together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Verdugo, are we having issues with insurance because of it? I know insurance companies are being very difficult right now. Is that something that?
No, as a matter of fact, our insurance has covered multiple claims, Mr. Guerrero. Because every time water gets into our buildings and we lose carpet and we have to go to mitigation, they have been great with, and they know we have an application with them. I sit on the board with the insurance. So I keep them well aware of where we are. And, so
And again, it's been an ongoing, I mean,
Yeah.
when I was the principal there, we had to deal with it numerous times, losing our front office because of flooding
Of
and
flooding.
having to move it to different spaces. I mean, it's at least, I don't know if Mr. Chavez, we have the lower lake, or Mr. Fanny used to call them the sixth grade lake.
The
you know,
seventh grade lake.
Seventh grade lake, because it's.
The pond in
whenever
seventh
it-
grade.
Whenever it rains, it becomes
Yeah.
a lake, little
It
river
becomes a
down there.
Little river, yeah.
So,
Mhm.
but it's been something that we've been really pursuing because we want to get that, especially the weatherization, because Calabasas is now over 20 years old
Mhm.
and has not been painted or weatherized.
Their eyes or anything, yeah.
So it's well past due.
And some of the classrooms also had like mold and stuff, and I know because one of my classroom had mold and they had to fix it too and stuff, and that was when I was still there, so. Yeah, and I think it still the water continues to seep in, at certain, some of the rooms, so. Yes, sorry. Mhm.
Okay, the food service fund, we operate 12 months because we do have a summer feeding program, which is very popular and very successful because of the food truck that Mr. Verdugo just mentioned. The beginning fund balance, we always try to make sure that we have an operation that is self-sufficient and that we have enough funds in their account. The beginning fund balance is $1.2 million. We brought in a total revenue of $2.4 million. The expenditures came in at 2.6, leaving us with a fund balance again of 1.2. We served over 180,000 breakfast, over 454,000 lunches, and over $10,000 snacks. Is there any questions?
Does anybody have a question, Ms. Garrido?
None. Thank you, Isela.
Mr. Guerrero?
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, I have a few. So, when you were first starting this out, you were talking about your presentation, you were talking about major funds review, and you said that we had spent $1,091,015 very beginning. Right there, I think it's there. It's one more back, I think. There we go.
Those are revenues.
Oh, okay. Those are revenues, all right, I got you, because then later I saw the other ones, I got you, the expenditures, the ones that said 2.3 million.
So let's just compare for giggles. If we look at district additional assistance, we brought a revenue of $1 million, and let's look at the expenditures in capital.
Right, which is 2.3.
And you're like, how did that?
So we shelled out the extra then for that.
Carry forward.
Carryover.
Okay,
It's the carryover.
that's what I was wondering, it's like, where did that come from? I said, that's a hell of a discrepancy. Just $1 million in change.
How is it that we were able to have a carryover of $1 million? We mentioned how we were able to capitalize on having those.
Mhm.
That's how we were able to have a reserve of $1 million.
And also we always make sure when we talk about additional assistance, that one of the important things that we always share with the board is that we do not move additional assistance into salaries. It's very important because we want to maintain our facility as much as we can, be able to purchase buses or whatever it may be, technology on that side. And again, not to compare us to other districts, but many districts move their additional assistance into salaries. And then now you're compromising your buildings and your technology and book, because then they can't buy new materials. And we always make sure that our additional assistance stays in additional assistance, unless it's like a one-time purchase or something that we will be able to, but we never put it into salaries. And then the other part of it is we're very strategic. Year by year, we meet with staff, we look at what our priorities are, and then we say, this is what we're going to spend. And then we always have that reserve. And that's one of the things that we want to make sure we maintain, because if there is something that does happen and we need to buy, say 3 buses blow up,
Okay.
and we need to buy 3 new buses, we want to be able to have those additional funds to do something like that.
Okay, I had some other questions. the cracks and that you brought this kind of reminded me of this with your question. The cracks that we had in the equipment room, whatever became of that and who paid to when they were building it? Remember the cracks that we saw cracks in the floor?
Mitigated.
Yeah,
Before we close.
yeah, before we, that was part of the new construction. And so that was, they mitigated that well, before we approved the final.
By mitigating, they fixed it.
They fixed it.
Okay, all right. Then another thing, oh, you recall when we went to meeting years ago and back and that gentleman was challenging us with regard to maintenance and operation maintenance mainly of the pool. So what's our plan to maintain the pool in the future? Or
So it's still part of the override. So currently that is part of the override. And I think his question was, what happens if the override doesn't
exactly.
pass? So again, that's why we have contingency funds. And then we're also exploring opportunities. For instance, this year, the county paid, $30,000 for summer help. So that's that we're continuing to work with that partnership to look at other funding sources to maintain that. But a lot of it is coming through the override.
Where else are the contingency funds coming from?
Say that
Carry
again.
forward.
And the
Carry forward.
to main,
Contingency or carry forward
Yes.
as well?
Yeah, in our M&O. So again, we've tried to keep, I don't know what our percent, it's not a percentage anymore.
We have, let me tell you. But yeah, everything's within the same fund, Mr. Ramirez. We do not keep anything outside of our funds. Let's see. We have $7 million in contingency.
which is healthy. I mean, and that's something that we want to, especially now with the AEL has been lifted, and that's where we usually also save funds for that, which is the expenditure limit. Because we have to prepare for that, but now it's been, I think, 2 years this year and next year it's approved, so we feel comfortable with that 7 million being fully contingent.
yeah, I think it would be wise of us as a district to somehow, I know this is extra work, I realize it, but somehow or another, put something together, just as something, concise, just to let the public know what our plan is so that we don't have these people coming back and telling us later on, told you so, or see, look, they're not being transparent and all that other nonsense.
Yeah, we have a presentation, we started the schedule, so we got the Tubac Citizens Council, which is where those questions head.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're scheduled for the November meeting to present, and we'll bring up, we always have a tax rates, what our funds are, and be able to explain.
You'll let us know when that meeting.
I'll let you know, yeah. Yeah.
And one last thing, it's not funny you mentioned buses. Whatever happened to the buses that we had like 500,000 miles? It wasn't even a joke.
I'm sure we still have some of those because they're still running. But we are little by little working on the rotation schedule to renew those buses. And believe it or not, Mr. Ramirez, sometimes the recommendation from our transportation directors is to keep some of those buses with 500,000 miles, and you're having more trouble with some of the buses that have less miles.
Newer ones.
The newer ones. But that's why we have that rotation schedule and we follow the recommendations.
Yeah, the only reason I mentioned is once I was going with John on a basketball trip, and we were just pulling out, maybe 10 miles from here, and the bus broke down, and we were all sitting there packed, And then another time we were coming back from a chess tournament, and the bus just conked out, and we were in between those in the construction where they have the cement stuff, so we couldn't even get off the highway. I just don't like to see that kind of stuff happen with buses that have 500,000 miles. So what do we do how long do we go before we say, hey, time to buy a new one?
We rotate those out, and again, it depends on what the mechanics and the transportation director recommend. I mean, we trust their expertise with that. And so they know which buses are on the cycle to be transitioned out. And again, we have that plan to make sure we put new buses in and old buses as much as we can.
Okay. Thank you.
No more questions, Mr. Rodriguez? No, okay. I just want to say thank you for the presentation. I always, enjoy it because I know that it's I like that you guys, look at the bigger picture and you kind of, foresee things that might happen, okay? And we are prepared for those, uneventful things that, that always come up. Thank God that there hasn't been anything that bad for us, but thank you so much for all your work. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and just before, Riley, again, thank her for all of her work, but also this information is used by the Auditor General to create a report that we generally share with the board that compares us to other districts, like districts of what our expenditures, whether they're high, low. And for instance, we're always low in administration, which is something we're proud of, means that we're doing what we do with a lot of efficiency. So, and we'll share that once that report comes out, but this is the information that they use to create that report.
Okay.
I'd like to echo Ms. Vasquez, what she said, echo her compliments, because I do hear from a lot of different people at different places about how solid we are and how, I remember when I first got on the board and asked her about the rainy day fund. No, Ms. Fernandez, we don't do that anymore. It just seems like we do it automatically. We seem to be very well prepared. And I like that we always are concerned about making sure that we don't lose people because of some mistakes. So you do a really good job. Thank you.
Yeah, their vision, I really, admire the vision and all that, so, yeah. Thank you for very well done. I have.
And it is an action item.
Alrighty, so is there a motion?
Motion.
So a motion to approve the fiscal year 2025 annual financial report as presented. So moved.
Okay, second, yeah, you did, you seconded, okay. Where am I? No, I'm just, yeah, okay. Is there any more, and is there any further discussion? No, alrighty. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Moving on, these are the B Santa Cruz Valley Unified School District policies. Mr. Verdugo.
No policy updates, unless there's questions from the board, if there's any policies that they would like to discuss in the future.
Okay, Ms. De La Riva, you have a policy, anything you want to discuss? Mr. Guerrero? No, Mr. Ramirez? No. I have none either, so, do we have to make a? No, okay, nothing, okay, we move on then. Subject C, propose and prioritize topics and possible dates and times for future board meetings. Mr. Verdugo.
I think just some highlights there, again, this Friday, Hall of Fame on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Hall of Fame on Saturday.
The mayor, Mr. Fanning, is
Yes.
the highlight of the induction. And then our next board meeting, October 7th. I just wanted to note, it says the trust law conference, again, that is not a board item, that is an administrator item, that is where principal, assistant principals, and district administration will be training. So it's not a board conference. And then just also a reminder that our school emergency response review will be an executive session on October 28th.
Okay, so we will have an executive session.
Any other future topics that are not listed, the board would like?
Any future topics, Ms. De La Riva? None? Mr. Guerrero? Mr. Ramirez?
Ma'am.
No, Mr. Ramirez, I just want to ask you, will you be attending the homecoming?
Yes, I plan on it.
Yes, okay, because that's what Miss Angie was asking us, okay, so, okay, thank you. I don't have anything either, so, we move on?
Yep.
Alrighty. Subject, approval of the consent agenda. It says, any matter on the consent agenda will be removed from the consent agenda and discussed as regular agenda item or items upon the request of any board member. Does anyone want to remove anything removed? Ms. De La Riva? No? Mr. Guerrero? No? Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, number 7.
Number 7. Number 7. Okay, hold on. Anything else? No? Alrighty, okay. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda with the removal of number 7.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. Number 7, Mr.
Yeah, it's kind of on me. I'm sorry. I should have really read it more thoroughly, but I just wanted somebody to shed some light on this $75 fee for a half credit of Saturday school.
Yeah, Mr. Lopez.
Yeah. So we're going through all of our fees to make sure that the fees are there, as you guys know. Madam President and members of the board, you guys approved those. We didn't see it on the list. A few years back, there was a review of the fees that we had. And it was given, the guidance that was given by OCR. The Office of Civil Rights was to not charge during the school hours. However, Saturday school is something that is offered outside of the regular school hours. So at that point, there is a fee that helps us sustain, covering for the cost associated with it, especially or particularly the supervision with the teacher who serves as the teacher for Saturday school. And we have a Saturday school coordinator who promotes the program, because we don't just offer credit recovery. It also offers some opportunity for initial credit. Some of our students who take, for example, our dual enrollment with our band students too, jazz and some of the advanced level for band, they may not be able to take maybe a course that they would need for eligibility to be admitted at a universities. So this gives them an opportunity to, during Saturday school, come in and take maybe that fine arts course to be able, but because of the funding, that's a fee that we wanted to have in there before we started charging that fee to our families and our students.
And how many weeks do they have to participate, let's say to get the half a credit?
We have, so it depends on the student and the class. Some classes depends on the content, right? Some courses, if they're a credit long versus half a credit, that dictates how long the course is, because it dictates how many units and how many lessons.
Okay,
But typically, it takes students about 4 to 6 weeks per half credit.
per half credit, right?
And students are able to
4
work.
weeks per credit.
Yes, but it's not time bound, because if they're moving at their pace and if students are dedicating time outside of the Saturday school sessions, which are 4 hours on Saturdays, some students may be able to move at a faster pace.
Yeah, I got you. So it's kind of like the more they do, the faster they get it, right?
And the goal is to offer as many opportunities for students that
Yeah, absolutely.
this year we're always offering the expansion of dual enrollment, as well as, students who really want to be doing 4 years of a foreign language or 4 years of years. That's important. So sometimes they might not be able to take that other course they need for. So that's a way that we can offer that.
Okay.
It's not sustainable to offer for free all the time, so we do have to have that fee.
How many hours is it on the weekend, on Saturday?
4 hours.
4 hours.
4, okay.
In the morning,
And
right?
half a
It's
credit.
in the morning,
Morning.
8 to 12.
And actually, they can earn more. I mean, if they're taking multiple classes.
Absolutely. For some students, this is, if they have a 0 hour, they already have it. This might be their 8th class. Students who are really going above and beyond and really wanna.
How long does it take them to earn their half credit semester?
4 to 6 weeks per half a credit.
For half a credit, so they got, 8 to 12 weeks to get 1 full credit.
I think it's pretty good that they have it also for people who want to get ahead.
Ahead.
So it's for both teams, there's both of them.
Yeah.
Who wants to check out earlier.
Mm-hmm.
We keep hearing good things. I mean, I keep hearing good things about dual enrollment.
The dual enrollment is doing really, really good.
We really need to keep tooting our horn on that one.
Oh, yeah.
We will.
Yeah, yeah.
No, thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
So, does anybody have a motion? We have to do that, right? The motion? Is there a motion?
Motion to pass number 7. on the
Number 7?
agenda, consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all those opposed, nay. Ayes have it, motion passes. And we are adjourned, and it is 5:48 PM.